Top of Redlight. Who we got here? Is this Chad?
Hey, bros.
What are you doing up here?
Walk.
How do we go at this? Top of Redlight. How fucking good.
How's the serenity out there?
I know. I have no idea what's going on.
Go away!
We're here at the top of Redlight Hill. It's 2 a.m. We've got probably fucking 30 people behind us. Have all just come up in varying conditions of fitness. But yeah, cheers for coming down.
Appreciate it, brother. So, a little about myself. My name's Cheyne Truelove. I'm a current serving ASM in the Australian Army. I joined in 2001, so I guess significant about that. I guess like many people, came from a broken home, and the Defence Force had a draw to me.
Yep.
At a young age, joined that, and then sort of became part of this great organisation. And it was, I guess, the one real time in my life where I sort of felt a sense of belonging and sort of mateship with the people that I was serving with. I guess talking about, one of your questions was I guess experiences in the military that shaped us. So during my time, I deployed 3 times to Afghanistan. Done some time in Malaysia, Europe, USA, and I guess everywhere in Australia in between. Probably one of the most significant experiences that shaped me as a human today was in 2007, first deployment to Afghanistan. A crazy experience for anybody. I think I was 22 years old, experiencing, I guess, combat and seeing that country for what it was and the people, trying to give them a better way of life. During that deployment, one of our mates, one of our call signs, Trooper Poppy Pierce, was sadly killed in action by an IED strike. I guess for anybody that was there that day, it was, I guess, a life-changing experience. And for us as young men and women at that time, I don't think we were prepared for what we faced over there, and I certainly don't think the organisation was probably prepared for how to support people coming back from that sort of conflict. And I guess as you did back in those days, where I guess mental health was sort of a bit of a taboo subject, you just sort of hid it, bottled it away, and I guess that pain, that we call it, the fucking I guess uncertainty and those feelings inside you, just sort of tried to mask them and push them away. And and I think everybody was doing that to a degree. I guess where that all come unstuck for myself was after my third deployment to Afghanistan. I guess the wheels really fell off for us. I just, everything in my life was focused to me on Afghanistan combat, at our role there, and I really struggled to live life back home when I was here. So I guess what was the so what from that? I guess it led me to a very dark place in my life, and I guess it could have ended there. Luckily it didn't, and it was, I guess, due to like my wife and my close friends, all the people that I've I guess had the pleasure of serving with. I guess not wanting to go jack on them and sort of let it all go from that. So I guess one real lesson that I would like to share with people is that pain, however, like that pain that you're feeling, it is the ultimate combat indicator for growth. And rather than shy away from it and avoid it, where you can, like, lean into it, because if I didn't go through that experience, there's no way that I would be in the capacity that I'm here today and what I've done since. And like yourself, Jesse, I guess, Jesse and I deployed together, and I think back then that was probably the most significant thing in our life that we'd ever done. And we sort of hung our hat on that for a long time. But look at what you're doing right now. Without, I guess, that growth on that experience, then you would not be doing. You wouldn't be at the top of this hill at 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
I would not say.
Concept. And you talk about that second trip for you. It was my first. I'd freshly out of Odgets. I'd only just figured out what the army was at that point. My head was on a swivel. I was 21 at the time, and I remember you were one of the first boys that I met in Sydney. And I remember I had a sense of having to prove myself. I've come on a lot of scrutiny, being straight out of Odgets, straight on a trip, where other boys were like, well, hang on, he hasn't earned his stripes at this point. Get over. And I remember sort of lent on you a lot for how to fit in culturally and just get on with the job. And you encouraged me. I remember that whole trip. I remember the MRE was a pivotal point in my development where I was like, man, these guys are, if I mess up even in the slightest, I'm gone. And I remember the advice amongst all the piss taking was just do a good job, man, and don't worry about everything will just take care of itself. And now I hold those people in such high regard. I don't think I've ever thanked you, man, but I can't thank you enough for, where we are now. We pull the piss a lot, and I remember talking to you a couple of weeks ago about how just the way that you talk now, I've got 10 years of memories worth of you to sort of reflect on, but to see you grow over that time, I look, man, like, not to fluff you up, but it's something that's I hold very dear, and fucking keep doing what you're doing, man.
It's reciprocal, bro. You're saying, I guess, you were junior to me when we first met, but I draw inspiration from you every day, man. And I love how we, I guess, bounce off each other and do that catch up call and just sort of hearing what you're doing. I sort of draw strength from that, and it's great that it's a mutual. We've got that oppo call signs that we can lean on each other.
So what do you So when you're previously here, you had 5 years in the school, and you're so focused on development of others, which then internally, then in a roundabout kind of way, came back to grow yourself. So give us some insights on that and why you do what you do in that regard.
I guess if I can use an analogy, and I'll sort of that'll answer your question. I think one thing that I sort of heard recently, and I really liked how it sounded, was about lobsters. Yep. Their shell is their shell, and like their internal whatever muscle structures and they grow, but they get to a point where their shell can no longer, they can't fit inside their shell, so they experience this pain, this fucking this horrible feeling. They can't move around properly, and then they have to get to a point where they cast off that shell. But in doing so, they're a soft sort of creature underneath, so they're very vulnerable to attack. But by doing that, then they can start to grow their new shell, and then I guess form into this more capable, larger creature. But I guess it's that pain, that feeling. That's the first combat indicator that that is a catalyst for growth, or the opportunity to lean into growth. But then it's making yourself vulnerable to be able to become the person that you could be. I used to be very confident. When we met, I was very confident. I was quite shattered. I couldn't get up and talk in front of people or anything like that. So I guess that fear and uncertainty to lean into that. That's why I asked to come down here to the school and be in front of people talking to sort of rebuild that confidence. And then I guess in doing so, just being real, just talking about how fucking shit is. You find like a lot of people draw inspiration and strength from that. And I guess you sort of build that momentum. And I know, I guess I sort of always thought, going on operations and doing your job over there, that was what we're here to do. But then, I think we've helped way more people, just become better versions of themselves, which ultimately, in service, they're going to help the ADF in their roles. But wider than that, and I guess looking at the veteran community, what they go out to do, in their little different pockets in the world. And I think that's a gift that we've been happy to be, I guess, reciprocative of.
Right, you're running with us for a bit.
Yeah,
so we're gonna head on down the hill. We're gonna talk some more. Gonna hold on for dear life and see how far we can go.
And from us and the boys that come up, we're so proud of you, man. It's gonna be good, bro.
Interview done with Cheyne. Finishing up at Redlight Hill. Heading on down. Good progress. Bang on time. 2:30. Love and life.